Immer and Oswald Volvo, Oregon Club of Portland, Mashofsky Enterprises, Montanore Vineyards, and Taylor Electric.
We're ready for the start of the ball game. The toss of the coin went in Oregon's favor. The Ducks elected to defer their decision until the second half. The Vandals will receive the opening kickoff of the football game. So, first kickoff, Liam Hayes to boot it.
Real weak kick here into the wind, fielded on the 18-yard line. Coverage is a little better. David Massey down there to make the tackle. Our coverage was improved.
So on the first offensive possession, run the little draw play to Pierce from Madison High School in Portland, and he gets 9.
Pierce did a good job. Hard runner, very good football player.
Then on 3rd and 1, great job by Marcus Woods to stuff it, and then the tackle by Connor and Farwell.
Marcus just rejected, as you can see here, he just shoves the center into the backfield, hits the back there, and Andy Connor's there to make the tackle. But most of that credit's got to go to Marcus Woods with just a tremendous job of shutting the door.
So the Ducks on their first offensive play of the football game. And they go right to the toss sweep. Sean Burwell cuts it up in there, but the ball comes loose, recovered by Idaho.
It's been a concern. We've been talking to Sean about protecting the football. He ran in there straight up and down, held the ball loosely, and Idaho did a good job knocking it out. Here they come with the option, a play that we were not prepared for, and see some sloppy tackling there. Very lethargic effort to start the game, but a very nice run.
Gain of 17. The ball is now at the Oregon 22. Little slip screen.
Screen pass. They do a good job blocking us there. And Mohamed Oliver is out there along with Castle to make the tackle.
And on 1st and 10 from the 11.
Lose contain, which we did most of the day, and Nussmeier does a good job finding the receiver open for the touchdown. And here's the equalizer right here.
Why have the offense when you can do this on the kickoff? Michael McClellan, 89 yards for the touchdown, tied for the 6th longest in Oregon history, and the first kickoff return for a touchdown by the Ducks since Chris Oldham did it to USC in October of 1988. You always talk about coverage and the wedge and this and that. How did it work?
Well, I could draw a whole bunch of lines up here, Todd, but the important thing, they kicked the ball down, and our front 5 men up here, Brandon Jumper, who did a great job coming and kicking a man out, cleared this lane out. Their coverage man over here, actually, when he was in a position to get blocked, he kind of ran out of his lane and opened it up. The timing was perfect with the wedge forming up back here. McClellan handles the ball, and he hits it, and I'm not kidding you. There wasn't, well, you saw the kicker slip down in front of the wedge as the wedge came up, and I don't blame him for slipping. You got 2 big old guys coming up in there. Jeff Allen, I think, and Keeter were in the wedge this week and did a good job, and Michael went untouched basically until the guy dove at him. And it's just a middle return. We take it straight up the field wherever the ball is kicked. The wedge did a good job setting up and brought it back up the field.
Before we go to the replay, you always talk about the timing here and how close the ball carrier should be to the wedge. How does that work, and what timing are you looking for there?
We want the wedge to set 12 yards from where the ball is caught and directly in front of it. In other words, we don't want the wedge setting over here if the ball's caught over here. They've got to get over directly in front of him. And then as soon as he catches the ball at 12 yards, we want both of them to take off at full speed, obviously. Sometimes that doesn't work out exactly right.
Well, it did work out right this time, and let's take a look at the replay and show you exactly what happened and how it went for the score. Get the nice low look here.
You can see right there, Brantley gets a good job. Brandon Jumper gets a good block. Mark Spears leading up in there. You can see Jeff Allen. Jason Redding is in there, I'm sorry, not Keeter, and you know, there just wasn't anybody there. It was just a complete white. Good job by the front 5 clearing it out for the wedge, and then McClellan avoids the last gasp effort right there, just gets a piece of his foot. Got a little tired on that run. Not used to running that far.
A little winded, but he'll tell you later that his old roommate was Chris Oldham, and so he's kind of matched him now as far as returning touchdowns, kickoffs for touchdowns. So it's now 7-7. Idaho gets the football back. Pierce stuffed by James Batista.
Nice play by Batista. 3rd and short here now. Play action pass. Lose containment again, something we did all day long. We need to discipline ourselves better. Muhammad Oliver makes the play, but if we have proper contain, they have no play in that situation. If we just lose contain, we do it again. The discipline of the people who have to contain the quarterback in the pocket, particularly looking at a guy like who can run as well as Veal this week, is going to be critical. Come back with the option again. Again, you can see how wide open it is. Good effort coming from behind by Jeff Cummings there.
All right, on a first down play from the 12, Bounty in on the sack along with Jeff Cummings.
Makes a difference. We had people, Cummings and Brantley, both in contained position. When he started to bail, he had no place to go.
So John Smith decided in this situation that maybe he ought to try a field goal after this next play. You see the little dump screen again. Marcus Woods, he's done a nice job smelling that stuff out.
He sure has. He's already made the tackle on about 3 screen passes.
So the Ducks watch Idaho miss the field goal, and then you're now faced with a decision after the short gain there on third down, 4th and 1 from your own 29.
I'm a little angry at this point, Todd. Our ineptness, I figure, you know, we're either going to get the first down or really test our football team. There's no reason we shouldn't have been able to gain half a yard against Idaho, and we ran the sneak for about a yard.
Pass interference against Idaho gave the Ducks a first down on a 3rd and 12. Big play in this drive, as it turned out. 2nd and 6. Burwell gets 8 and a first down.
Pretty good hole there. I'd like to see him rip his leg out of that tackle. He kind of went down on an arm tackle in that situation. He's got to run a little harder inside. Musgrave comes out here on the roll, and this is the play. Tony Hargain severed his kneecap.
It's tough to see here, but it was done apparently, as the doctors say, on the way up.
He planted his foot and exploded to try to jump up, and as he did that, the muscles actually pulled the kneecap apart. There had to be some type of weakness there, but the doctors felt in the surgery this morning that they didn't see any stress fracture, old stress fracture or anything, but rather than the tendon going off or something happening to the muscle, he pulled the kneecap apart without hitting it, without falling on it. One of the freakiest injuries I've ever been around in my career.
And what a shame. After 10 receptions last year, he was off to a great start. Now here's the little pooch punt by McCallum.
It's really a pretty good kick. They've got a man deep there, but we lose contain on the coverage out of the field goal formation. And, you know, I might as well try to kick the 56, 57-yard field goal as to have that thing come back at us.
So Idaho gets the football back. And this is the first turnover forced by the Oregon defense of the season. Darrell Smith, the junior cornerback, returns at 6 yards.
Darrell had one hit him in the stomach last week and dropped it, and he's been taking good razzing about that all week, and he comes up with a play here. But again, look at this, we lose contain. We cannot lose contain on quarterbacks that are mobile as Nussmeier is. Just a real nice interception by Darrell Smith there, and a pretty good return. And I think now we start to wake up a little bit.
I think you're right, because you start to move the football, though this drive doesn't culminate for a touchdown. You certainly are getting some running room for the running back. 16-yard gain by Nalu Kalameni.
Good job here by the offensive line on the counter play, opening up a big hole. Good job by Collinsworth and Greg Phillips on that particular play.
Into the second quarter we go. The game is tied at 7-7, but the second quarter a very productive one for the Ducks as they really seize control of this football game. Idaho will get the football, but we wanted to show Tommy Thompson again, an outstanding punt. Good day. Nice little bounce here and good coverage.
Good job by Paul Rodriguez. And we get it down, I believe, on the 4-yard line.
Good defensive series here as you keep the Idaho Vandals pinned deep.
Good job there by Jeff Cummings. Doing a good job along with Andy Connor. Quarterback draw. Ooh, fumble. Came out. Idaho gets it back. Nice play by Marcus Woods. You can see him take the Idaho lineman, just shove him in the backfield. Good job by Brantley coming in, knocking the ball loose, but Idaho recovers it.
And on third down, incomplete pass. And so fourth down, there's Michael McClellan back to receive the punt. He gets a nice return. In fact, almost broke this one for a touchdown.
Good job here. We get over to the wall, makes a nice move to get there, picks up some blocks down the sideline, and gets us great field position down on about the 27-yard line.
Look at it again.
Nice move right here by Michael. Got to get him to protect that ball a little bit too, waving it around out there in traffic. Switches the ball there, protects it there, does a good job, and gets us deep into Idaho territory.
In fact, the football is at the 23-yard line. First down play, Calamini to the left side, picks up 6. Second down and 4 from the 17. Brandon Jumper out of the backfield, the reception, gets the first down. And then on 1st and 10 from the Idaho 12-yard line, it's Calamini back to the left side, cuts it back into the end zone for the touchdown. And with the PAT, the Ducks lead it 14-7.
Nice cut back there. Good job, Jeff Thomason. Tattersall's in there at the guard, pushes another Idaho defender past, and Calamini makes a good cutback for the touchdown.
And when we pick up further action, Idaho will have the football back, trying to mount a drive as we are into the second quarter. The Ducks leading it to Nussmeier to throw. Good job by Jeff Cummins here. He's kind of sniffed out the receiver and made him throw it away.
Did. LeBounty's in there pressuring. Cummings had the screen back covered, and he threw it into the ground. Again, loss of containment. You'll hear me say that a lot. Nice job there, breaking up the pass, but we need to contain the quarterback better.
Idaho forced to punt. The Ducks get it back, and now in the process of really moving the football with what looks like ease as Musgrave hits Jeff Thomason for 9.
Little tight end delay, dump it to Thomason over the middle. Trap play to Juan Shedrick. Shedrick, powerful runner, busts forward for a first down. See a good trap block here by Tattersall. Good hole. Shedrick takes it up the field. See him keep his feet working. Picks up about an extra 5 yards after first contact.
Mixing it up, now go to the play-action pass. Musgrave directing traffic and lofts this one out to McClellan, who makes the catch. Good for 24.
Good job lofting it over. As, Tattersall and Bowie ran into each other. Tattersall's new at guard, so he pulled a little too deep and knocked Bowie off his course, but Bowie got there in time to give Musgrave a little bit of time after Bill kind of helped him out by pushing him in the back and showing him who he was supposed to block.
So first down at the Idaho 27. Calamini left side, almost went the distance here, just ran out of real estate. Gain of 13.
Good job on the perimeter with the blocking. We got a good block by our wide receiver. Fake draw, a little screen over here to Calamini. Cuts it back, gets deep, deep into Idaho territory.
After a clipping penalty against the Ducks, move it back to the 20. Second down and 16.
Did a good job here coming back, overcoming that clipping penalty. Another little screen pass to Calamini, slipping out the other side. We get a little bit back on that, and now face third down and 5. And a little quick pass to Reitzig. Nice job before he steps out of bounds on the 2.5-yard line.
So on a second and goal play, the Ducks put it into the end zone. It's Calamini over the top. Boom, right on Shedrick before the touchdown.
What happens when you jump and there's not a lot of resistance there. Easy score for Calamini going over the top.
With the point after, the Ducks lead it 21-7, 5:44 left to go in the second quarter. On the ensuing possession, Brandon Jumper with a 43-yard gallop, but will get pushed right there out of bounds, injures the knee. He wants to do a little rumble, and then he realizes, wait a minute, something's wrong here, and I'm hurt, and indeed he was.
Good job here, trap block by Greg Phillips. A big hole, and Brandon, who's just getting his legs back under him fresh, looking real good in this football game, breaks a long run. Straight arms the Idaho player, and then as he goes out of bounds is relaxed a little bit and gets a shove right here, and now he sticks out that right leg right there to avoid the table, and he comes up fighting mad, but he didn't realize he was hurt until then, and then
now he knows.
Now he knows.
Now he really knows.
And he's out for the season.
That's a shame. Here's a young man that was injured a year ago, had, I think it was the same injury to the other knee, wasn't it, Coach?
Yes, anterior cruciate. Idaho players ejected. I think our coaches on that sideline there and the players in that area did a good job. It could have gotten ugly. It could have been a fight there, and Coach Schuler was right on top of it and broke it up. Burwell goes around the right side down to the 1, and then Burwell takes it in from the 1 for the touchdown.
Virtually untouched, in for the TD from the 1-yard line. Let's look at it again. Coming at you.
Good job by Jeff Thomason. Good job there by Juan Shedrick clearing the hole out for Burwell to take it in untouched.
So it is now 28-7. Idaho will get the football back here with under 3 minutes to play in the second quarter. Here was the option play, and big hole for Pierce.
Just very bad run support from the secondary there. He ran right by a couple of us. Nice run by Pierce, but poor play by us. Here we get good pressure. We get a sack by LeBounty coming from the right side. In a good contained rush, I might add. Didn't give him the outside. You can see LeBounty making a move around the side here and getting the sack on Nussmeier.
So the sack on 4th down prevents any further scoring by Idaho. You've still got some time and some timeouts left. You move it down the field.
We used the clock fairly well, I think, here. Pass incomplete to Calamini. Pass interference is called. We ran a couple plays. 9 seconds left. Don't want to try another play and attempt a 44-yard field goal into the wind, which McCallum kicks right down the middle.
Ready to start the third quarter. The Ducks leading Idaho 31-7. The Ducks will get the football to start the third period of play. Johnny Taylor leading the Ducks on the field. Watch it, Johnny. See the kickoff at about the goal line, and McClellan will turn it out to the 26-yard line. 25-yard return, but he got dinged up here too, didn't he?
Took a little shot on the shoulder. I don't think it's serious. He was ready to go back in later in the game, but we decided to hold him out. Musgrave on the scramble here, safe at second. Head first slide.
So he lunges forward and picks up 9 yards. Then the next play we see is a 3rd and 1, and Calamini goes 53 yards. Almost got it all the way. In fact, he said, yeah, I got in there. Touchdown? No, just shy.
Good job by Carell Robinson, Greg Phillips pulling around, Kanapu pulling around, and you can see Calamini. He gets hit just there, and his right foot will land out of bounds right there on the white stripe. Got his left foot back in and into the end zone, but he had stepped out of bounds. A correct call by the official.
So he comes out of the game. Burwell comes in, and Burwell goes into the end zone for the touchdown.
Good job by Jeff Thomason, absolutely collapsing that part of the Idaho defense and opening up a big hole for Burwell to cut back to.
Burwell with 3 scores on the day, and with the point after, it is 38-7. So the Ducks score on their first possession of the third period. You know, really, Coach, when you look at this game in the second quarter and the third quarter, your first line troops played very well, really dominated.
We did. Good rush here. Peter Brantley gets the sack. The ball comes out, and we don't quite get to it before Idaho does. We're just doing a terrible job in the takeaway. We've only taken the ball away 1 time on defense in the first 2 games. So we're -4 on the season. The first quarter was awful. The fourth quarter and the last part of the third quarter were awful for our football team. The rest of the time we played well. Castle almost. He's had some almosts about 2 or 3 times on the deflection there. Almost came up with a turnover.
Looking for his 4th career interception. So the Ducks get it back and continue to move the football. 511 yards of total offense on the day. That's over 500 yards 2 consecutive weeks.
Good job by Joe Reitzig. Real nice pass here. You can see the velocity. Bill couldn't do this a couple years ago. He zings this one in there pretty good, right between 2 Idaho defenders, and gets a nice first down completion to Joe Reitzig.
Pickup of 14. The ball now with the Idaho 39. Burwell.
Good job by Carell Robinson on the block there, and Burwell picks up 9, and into the kicking net we go.
So on a 3rd down and 1, a little tougher running.
That's what I want to see from Sean Burwell. Dip the shoulder, break a tackle, keep the legs going. Excellent run by Sean there. Another good job here, taking it up in traffic, running harder and tougher here. That's the type of thing he has to do in traffic.
A redshirt freshman, so he has a very promising future. And his present isn't too bad either. Boy, Joe thought he had that one, didn't he?
He did have it. The sideline replay on us shows that his left foot got down before the right foot was out, and he did get his foot down. He's an expert at that, and It's too bad, but fortunately we come back here on the draw play to Correll Robinson, and he takes it in for the touchdown.
Correll, one of those guys that's going to be seeing a lot more playing time.
You bet he is, and he played very well early when he went in, and like the rest of our team, late in the fourth quarter, his play fell off, as did everybody on our team.
So Correll gets his second career touchdown, first of the season, and the Ducks really extending it out now, 45-7.
Wide open. There's Dunn, excellent receiver. Nussmeier and Dunn, I think they can play for just about anybody in the country. They're excellent football players, and so can that guy. Pierce is a real good, hard-running back.
These schools generally have a tendency to get some skilled position players. Usually the one failing they have because of the limitation on scholarships maybe is the outstanding lineman type people.
Yeah. Nice job by Eric Castle. Castle really arrived in this game. He was all over the field making plays on the option, as you saw there.
We won't quite see this, but I'm sure Rory Derry and everybody else in Oregon uniforms.
Everybody in the stadium except the official right on the play saw the Idaho receiver on fourth down push Rory Derry out of the way and go up and catch it. It was an obvious pass interference. You can see it on our films, but unfortunately it wasn't called.
Well, Rory, to his credit, came back, made a nice play there, and that stalls the drive as Idaho fails to score. Now Bobby Brothers into the football game, and on his first play, completes it to Jones.
Nice job on the sprint out, hits Anthony Jones on the sideline for a first down.
So it's 1st and 10 out at the 38-yard line. You've got some different people in there on the offensive line now. You see Geddison in there.
Mike Keeter's in there. Jeff Allen's in there. Well, Tattersall's in there now. Keeter is not in there. Tipped pass, poor Bob. He just doesn't have a lot of luck. Ball deflects up in the air, and Idaho intercepts it.
So the Vandals come back.
Wide open down the seam. Paul Rodriguez is in there now. He didn't take away the seam on that zone. We're in man-to-man coverage here, and Johnny Taylor got picked by his own man, and Dunn picks up the first down.
And a couple of plays later, 1st and goal from 3. It's Pierce. You can't quite see it there. He was moving, and it looked like he wanted to shift up, and then when he went back, they hiked the ball, but since he was going backwards,
he was going backwards at the time of the snap. That's what I just had explained to me right there.
As we pick up action in the fourth quarter, the Ducks ready to salt this one away and pick up their second win of the year with about 5 minutes to play. The final offensive drive of the afternoon. Sean Burwell, a pickup of 20 yards.
John Hawkins in at quarterback now. Dan Mitchell pulls around here, does a good job. Mike Keeter gets a block right there. Big 62. Dan Mitchell, 6'7", 265, redshirt freshman, gets a good block. And Burwell's running fine here. He's doing some good things, protecting the football. I like to see that.
So he picks up 20. 1st and 10 from the Idaho 24. It's Burwell again, right up the gut, hurdling 4-9.
Good job here by the offensive line, just coming off and capturing the line of scrimmage. Trap play to Correll Robinson, not as designed, but breaks outside, and he gets down to the 2-yard line.
And a couple of plays later on 3rd and goal, Burwell gets the call and just does get into the end zone. Actually, breaks the plane for the final touchdown of the afternoon. So the final score, 55-23, as the Ducks win it, their second victory of the season. Let's take a look at some of the final statistics. As you look at the numbers, I'll fill in some of the blanks. Burwell finished with 126 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Calamenti 149 yards rushing, 2 scores. And passing, Bill Musgrave 11 of 24, 97 yards. Let's flip the page and look at some of the other stats. Penalties, much better job in that area, Coach, than a week ago when you had 7. And punts, you can see Tommy Thompson did a great job. Time of possession, the Ducks also had 4 sacks, and outstanding, over 50% on 3rd down conversions. After the game, we got the players' reactions to the victory, some of the injuries, and a look at next week's game against Arizona.
Yeah, I just went in there, and the wedge did a wonderful job. I went in there and popped it, and it reminded me a little bit of my former roommate, Chris Oldham, when he popped one for 99 yards against SC, and we kind of ran out of gas at the same time, but he went 11 more yards, or I guess 10 more yards than I did at the time.
We just did what we were supposed to. The holes were there. Me and Lou ran through the holes like we were supposed to. I think all the backs had a good game, just rushing, because we concentrated on all week about running the ball, and it paid off this Saturday.
Well, it's just unfortunate that kind of thing had to happen, but you know, it's just a game, and it's part of the game. We just got to fight through it and, you know, stay focused on the game and worry about that stuff after the game. But You know, it's really too bad. I feel for those guys. They put in a lot of work this summer, you know, getting ready for the season, and then to have it all just end, you know, like that, it's just terrible.
Felt like he pushed me in the behind my shoulder, and when I went out of bounds, I went to catch myself. I was leaning forward, and I went to catch myself, and it just, I thought I hyperextended my knee, but they said on film, they watched it on film, they said it twisted too, so.
Oh, I think it started off a lot with practice this week. We went back to basics and worked a lot on techniques, and especially in the running game, and I think that helped us this week. They left us an open defense. We weren't expecting what they threw at us. We had been practicing against something else all week, and they came out in a base defense that we had, you know, blocked before, and it helped us a lot.
And we worked real hard this week on establishing a running game, and we were confident that coming into this game that was the most important focus on our team, and to have two guys come over 100 yards, it's excellent.
Felt good. Felt real good to get my feet wet, so to speak. You know, we was in the cover 2 kind of. I was just playing crow to flat, and quarterback didn't see me because I was sitting outside. I came inside and got the pick.
Pac-10 team, first opener, and you know they got a whole mode about them. That's just they come at you really hard. So you know we got to keep our pad level down, and defensively we got to play tough. You know, stop their running game, and they're a great football team.
Coming up next for the Ducks, the first road game of the season, the first Pac-10 game of the season, the first game against a ranked team. A lot of firsts coming up, Coach, and for one thing, it's a very good football team, Arizona.
Arizona's a great football team. They did a tremendous job last year. Obviously, this year, their impressive opening victory over Illinois, they just really were very impressive. That's Malamalua, their second-string quarterback right there, completing the pass downfield. They pretty well dominated Illinois. They have great pass rush. We're certainly going to be tested in that area because they have tremendous team speed, quickness, and strength in their running game. Look at them come off the ball. It's the
Bummerooski.
The Bummerooski. There it is. The old guard picks it up after the center lays it on the ground, and nobody within 15 yards of him. You know, they're tough enough with just coming right at you, and then they throw that kind of garbage at you. So old Coach told me he's always got something up his sleeve.
It's a team that also excels in special teams. It's just a good, solid football team.
They don't have a weakness.
So for the coach, that wraps it up for this week. And next week, of course, you'll be able to see the game live on a number of the stations around the Pacific Northwest. We hope you tune in for that. And if not, we'll see you on the show next week, same time, same place.
Oregon Football 90 with hosts head coach Rich Brooks and KEZI Sports Director Todd McKim. Brought to you by Immer and Oswald Volvo, Oregon Club of Portland, Mashofsky Enterprises, Montanore Vineyards, and Taylor Electric.